Hello AP Statistics students, this is your AP Stat tutor, David Cho. Throughout this video, we'll learn about how to construct or draw a histogram. Let's do a quick review here. Histogram is a type of data visualization that can represent the frequency of one-way variable data. Example here is a diagram of the number of days in Portland with specific temperature. On the right, it says lower bound should be inclusive and the upper bound should be exclusive. So this part here represents that there were 3 days in Portland where the temperature was higher than or equal to 21 degrees Celsius and at the same time lower than 24 degrees Celsius. So in order to draw a histogram, we need 4 following components with a graph. Constant range, explanatory and response variable, number of data that belong to certain range, and lastly, label, units if necessary, and numbers. So I put all the necessary components here with new sample data. This set of data represents the number of pencils in pencil case, and each number represents one student. This is just a small tip, but the numbers from the AP tests are not always given in an increasing or decreasing order, which means they can be mixed up like the example data given here. So I recommend organizing them in an increasing order before drawing a histogram so that you won't be confused by putting wrong numbers for each bar graph. So before we check the answer, I would like to pause the video and construct your own histogram with the given data. Okay, so your histogram might be different from my histogram based on range and the lower bound. On the slide here, I provided 3 possible examples for this dataset, but please keep in mind that there must be more than 3 correct answers. For the first histogram, the graph started from 0 or 0 pencils, and the range for each bar graph is 3. For the second one, I changed the range to 4 so that a single range can contain more data. And lastly, I used the same range 4, but this time I set my lower bound as 2 so that I don't have to represent any unnecessary data on my graph. Also, I just put the number above the bar graph, like here, to show the frequency of each range. But this isn't necessary and it's completely optional as long as your histogram shows frequency on the left side, like over here. So let's say during the AP test, you faced a question which asks you to construct a histogram, then uh, by just labeling this number on top of the bar graph, we're not gonna give you the full credit since the histogram requires the frequency on the left side of the histogram so that it clearly shows that the number or the frequency you listed on the left become the response variable. And here is another example for you. This time, I'll provide a lower bound, range, and title so that we can get the possibly exact same histogram as long as you don't make any mistake. So this time, please pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, now let's check the answer. If you did correctly, the histogram will look like this. Again, the frequency above each bar, this small numbers here, is completely optional. And also, this little grid I say, for each histogram is also optional, so you don't have to use ruler or something to draw histogram on your FAQ question. The only requirement is these four components, which is constant range, explanatory and response variable, number of data that belongs to a certain range, in other words, frequency for each range, and lastly, label, units, and number. Okay, let's try some Khan Academy problems to master our skills to build histogram. Let's go. Uh, Wait, let me go back so that we can see the full problem set. Oh, never mind. So the question says, below are the length of Luisa's 8 drives from the last time that she played golf. And as you can see, we have 8 numbers. Mm, And let's analyze the histogram, like given data of the histogram before we construct it. So here, as you can see, the range of each bar graph is 50 meters. Meters is listed here. And the explanatory variable is driving distance, and the response variable is number of drives. Mm, okay. So as I mentioned before, the number isn't let's say isn't given in an increasing or decreasing order. So what I will do is first copy all the data and then organize them into a increasing order. So we have 23, 23. I'll just put underline for the data that we already counted. 23 and 78, 130, 156. Oh no, 147 should come before 156. And then 177, 184, 213. Okay, so for the first range, which is from 0 to 50, we have one variable, 23. So I'll just pull the graph until here. For the second range, which is from 50 to 50 inclusive to 100 exclusive, is 178. From 100 to 150, we have two variables, 1, 2. From 150 to 200, we have two variables, 1, 2, and lastly, 1. And then here's another tip for your histogram building problem. After you're done with plotting all the data on your histogram, try to count the number of datas again and compare it with the given data. Sometimes if you make mistake and you might put you might put more or less data on your histogram than the given data. So here we have eight data. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we did something wrong. Let's see where we made the mistake. From 0 to 50 we have 1, 50 to 100 we have 1, 100 to 150 we have 2, okay. Oh, 150 to 200 we have 3, so this one should be here. Yay, we got it correct. Let's check the next one. This one, I'll just organize the data quickly. So we have 6, 55, 59, 84, 86, 96, 106. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We have 7 data in total, and the range of each bar graph is 30. So from 0 to 30 we have 1, and from 30 to 60 we have 2. From 60 to 90 we have 2. And lastly, from 90 to 120 we have 2. Okay, so if we count the number, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we check it, yay. Let's try the last problem and finish our video. So we only have 6 data, 4, 9, 12, 21, 22, 14. And except for this 14, I think all the datas are sorted in a increasing order. So I'll just skip the data organization part. From 0 to 5 we have 1, 5 to 10 we have 1, 10 to 15 we have 2, 15 to 20 we have 0, and lastly 20 to 25 we have 2. Boom, boom. If we check it, yay, we got it correct. Hey. Okay. After a quick review for the video, I'll finish this lesson. So today we learned how to draw a histogram. We have to consider the 4 following components, which is constant range, explanatory and response variable, number of data that belong to certain range, and lastly, label, units, and number. And please don't forget to put your frequency over here. And you can also start from a non-zero variable, for example, 2, 5, or any number. If you have any question, please visit our website, peertutoringclub.com. You can arrange a time to get some help for any subjects that we cover. This is it for today's lesson, and thank you for listening.